Okay, good evening, everyone. This is amazing to have you here. Indeed, we are so grateful to have had you connect with us here in today's class, and it's really amazing to also find out that people are interested in this. And I want to let you know we're committed to ensuring that we take this class all through to the end. 3 weeks is just what we said this class is going to run for. And hey, I want to make this as a disclaimer. This is not just one of those classes where you hop into, and of course, the very first module of the training will be given to you, and then you're told to pay for the rest. No. When we say it's a 3 weeks intensive learning, it is going to be complete free, absolutely free. You are not going to pay for anything. There is no hidden charges. And of course, when the 3 weeks ends, we are going to ascertain whether we'll go for another round or whether we're going to choose another segment that we want to also learn. But hey, what I'm committed to doing is to ensure that will give you the skills in 2025 that will enable you become financially stable. That is the end product. That's the end goal of what we're trying to do. So it simply means that whatever thing we're going to be teaching you is actually meant to bring you to a point where you can convert this training into another stream of income. And hey, just on a lighter note, I know that you would have been hearing a whole lot of things I've said. You would have been seeing me write so many things in the group. And hey, I want to do a proper introduction. And here we're going to here we are tonight, and finally we are going to put a face to all the stuffs we've been saying. We're going to put a face to every single thing about all we have been writing in the group. And I'm going to be your instructor for this particular training, for this 3 weeks intensive website design training. This training is meant to accomplish one thing. At the end of 3 weeks, you should be able to learn how to build a website. You should be able to at least understand every single thing about how a website works. And if you are not even concerned about building your own website, I know a whole lot of persons will say, I'm a business person and I am not concerned about learning how to build website. Why do I need to learn how to build my business website when I can actually get someone to build it while I pay the person? Hey, I want to let you know that the business person who you are that is actually connected to this class this evening is not just we're not just focused only on ensuring that you learn how to build a website, but as well you need to understand the rudiments, the things that are involved in building a website. Because if you are a client, for instance, I'm a web developer and you're my client, it makes my work a bit easier, and also it makes you understand in detail the kind of questions you need to ask, the kind of things you need to request that your developer will have to put on the website. The essence of this training is also to help you as a business person to know that there are some things that you need to put in place even before you get a web developer to start doing what he or she needs to do. There are some things you need to put in place, like things like your content. Developers always find it difficult to communicate with their clients, in the sense that most clients don't even understand that they need to develop their content. Most clients don't even understand that there are some resolution of images they need to get. And most business owners don't also know the right questions to ask. And so sometimes you as a business owner, you are left at the mercy of your developer. Hey, my name is John Aja, and I am going to be your instructor for this training. And I promise you it's going to be a very sweet ride. However, it is not going to be entirely sweet, because doing the work of a website designer is not really an easy one. And of course, I also want to let you know that it's not going to be too bumpy. And I want to request, just take out a minute and please subscribe to our YouTube channel so that we can be getting you updates as we go online for so many other things, because this channel is going to be committed to doing series of trainings that will help you in the tech space. Even though you are not a tech person, if you are just someone who is coming into tech newly, hey, relax. We have the basics that we can give you. And also, if you are someone who has been into tech for a while, hey, I want to tell you that we also have very good hands, and of course, I'm going to introduce you to new concepts that you never knew existed. Just have an open mind, and you are going to be shocked at the things we are going to be doing in this class. And so, for this particular training, what we're going to be what we're going to be doing for tonight's class is for us to just uh, get to be acquainted with the entire training, how it is structured, and what we need to accomplish at the end of the whole series. I've already told you my name, and this training is brought to you by Smart Clouds Hosting Solutions Limited. We are a tech company here in Ebonyi State, and what we basically do is that we build websites, and we develop web solutions for different agencies, for government agencies, for private companies, and of course we do training and we do consultancy service as far as tech is concerned. We train people on website design, we do database analysis, we also do data analytics, and of course we handle trainings in cybersecurity and every other segment of tech. In fact, if you need someone who is going to guide you in choosing a proper career in tech so that you don't just dazzle into it and then you get confused all along, just we are available to help you out in that area. I'm going to be here at any time you need me to answer your questions and to appropriately direct you. Even if it's something we cannot do, trust me, what I am going to help you do is I will get you someone who can give you the best value for whatever thing you want to learn. That is one thing I promise you. And hey, let's just jump into what we are here to do tonight. So, what is website design? Um, you would have heard about website design, and people tell you, it is coding. It is very very difficult. You need to be an expert with using computer before you can go into website design. No, it is not really like that. There are a couple of tools that have made it easier for you to build website. In fact, there are some tools we call what you see is what you get. Those tools enable you not to write a single line of code, and yet you get a beautiful website built. There are also some other platforms, some online platforms where you can go, you just do a drag and drop, and of course you see your website formed. All you need to do is put in the images, put in the text, and then you see the website properly formed, and you will have a beautiful website. You'll have a beautiful website designed. So for this class, I'm going to just give you a definition of what a website is. So website design is a process of planning, creating, and maintaining websites. That is website design. It focuses on user experience. That is the UX. I know you would have heard of UX, UI, UX. UI simply stands for user interface, and UX is the user experience. It also focuses on the visual aesthetics and as well functionality. So, for you to be a website designer, you should know how to plan, how to create, and of course, how to maintain a website that is visually appealing. That is simply what it means to be a website designer. And for a website designer, you need to, when you're creating website, it's also a function of you understanding that this website professionals are not the ones that will be using it. So as a website designer, you need to also understand that whatever user experience you're going to be creating is going to be something very very easy, so that anyone can easily make use of it. You don't want to build something that only professionals can use. You don't want to build something like that. And so for a website designer, you need to understand that in building a website, it will have to be something very simple. So now you would have heard about website development. Of course, I've mentioned website development, and you will be thinking in your head, what is the difference between website design and website development. Of course, website design is just all about building the front end, having the aesthetics, the UI, the UX properly done, and it stops there. That's just what the work of the designer. The designer is to ensure that everything about the UI UX is properly set. And then a website development or a website developer is someone who focuses on the functionalities of the website, more of the connecting the details, the front end to the back end, and then trying to also, or most times the developers are the back end people. They are the back end guys who deal more with codes, who are going to connect your front end, what you've done with HTML, with your CSS and JavaScript. The developer is the one who is going to connect all those things using a scripting language like the PHP, or using other scripting languages like the Python, to connect everything that you have done already in the front end. Those are developers, and sometimes you could have them as back end developers. And of course, there is another segment of web development, which is the full stack. The full stack is someone who understands how the front end works or how the front end is built, and also knows how to connect the back end. This person is vast in everything about website development. So, of course, there are things you need to know about websites. We need to know websites that are good designs and the ones that have very poor designs. And of course, most times when you visit a website, you could see some websites that the navigations are so scattered. You could see websites that are not mobile responsive. You could see website that you need to scroll to the right, scroll to the left for you to see the other content of the website. Hey, you will be so pissed off. You'll be like, who designs like this? Why is it that the content of this website is so scattered? And of course, you will see another website that is so visually appealing. The colors are matching. In fact, everything about it is so sweet, and you will be like, wow, yes, this is what a website should look like. Of course, web design entails that you build something that is very beautiful. So why do you have to learn website design? The Like I stated earlier, in today's world, almost every business is going digital, and almost, because every business is also going digital, there is need for people to also learn how to put businesses online. And irrespective of whether you want to build for yourself or you want to just learn the skill and get good money from it. Yes, web development pays you a lot of money. People can pay you as much as a 1 million naira, as much as 2 million naira to just be their front end designer. You don't even need to do anything about back end. And of course, I'm going to let you know how you can land any of those jobs. And of course, there are different opportunities for website designers. Such opportunities like you may not even need to sit down and start looking for jobs here. You can just log on to any of these freelancing platforms. Immediately you have the skill as a website designer. Let me tell you that there are millions, there are thousands and millions of people across the world who are looking for web designers on daily basis to give their jobs to. And this niche is a niche that is selling very well. Trust me when I say it's selling very well. I know the number of jobs that are available to me, and of course, I know that I also personally, in my company, we're also looking for people who can outsource most of our projects to, and this is going to be an amazing opportunity as well for majority of us. So there's remote work available for you. There are companies in US, in UK, who are willing to take you on a full-time basis. And the full-time doesn't really mean that you have to be there physically with them. You're going to work remotely with them, and then you could decide to even work a 9 to 5, and every single thing you do will be evaluated remotely. And of course, you need to know that as well, you can build a business out of website design, and you can become an entrepreneur designing websites for people. So there are different there are various opportunities that are abound here as a website designer. It is really going to be an amazing thing for you to be a website designer. There are numerous opportunities that are available to you, as far as this training is concerned. So I want to let you know that this training is not just one of those trainings where you you just pick up and learn something that you really will not have to use. Trust me, if you become a good web designer in after these 3 weeks, you're going to get a job. That one is certain. There is job available for you as a website designer. And so mastering website design can as well open doors to lucrative IT careers globally. Once you have become a website designer, if you're just a designer, you can as well get to the point where you expand your skill to becoming a backend programmer, where you can debug so many codes. You can also decide to venture into developing application programming interfaces. You would have heard of APIs. Yes, web developers are the ones who also work in this area. And of course, the area of web is really large, such that a whole lot of things, a whole lot of career paths can be opened up to you. This is just the first step. There are diverse other areas, and of course, if you are even thinking of going into cybersecurity, you're thinking of being a data analyst, I want to let you know that the knowledge or the skill of being a web designer is also very, very important, because for you to provide cyber security services, you need to understand even how the websites work. If you don't understand how websites work, it is going to be very difficult for you to know exactly what you even need to secure. And so this is a good step for you. Whether you're starting a new career in tech or you're trying to expand what you already have, it is very, very important that you know that you are on the right track. And so I want to let you know that there are key components of a website. And these key components of a website, first of it is the structure of the website, which talks about the header. You also talk about the navigation bar. You also talk about the main content area, and then you talk about the sidebar, and of course the footer. These are different segments of the website. Don't worry. Um, this is an introductory class, and I don't need to bore you with showing you some things right now on my screen. It is going to I'm going to take time to also take you through each of these various stages. I am going to, within the course of this our training, I will have to show you the different segments of of a website, so that you get to understand what really a website structure is all about. And and of course, there are going to be some other amazing things that we're as well going to be looking at, but let's not go through that. And then you also need to know that there are two types of websites. There is the static website, and then there's a dynamic website. And of course, examples of websites, you have the blogs, and you have the e-commerce sites, you have the portfolio website, and you also have the business website. These are examples of websites. You can also have school websites. All those different websites that fall within these categories of either static websites or dynamic website. Static websites are those websites that their contents are steady, just like the name implies. The contents don't change. The contents are just like that. The way the developer or the way the designer has built it and uploaded, that is how it remains. But a dynamic website is a website that the content changes based on the user's activity. For instance, if a user visits a website and the user needs to log in to visit his or her dashboard, when the user clicks on the login page, it takes the user to where he can to the login form, and he enters his username and password. And when he clicks on login, the system will have to do a check and find out whether the login details supplied are correct. If it's correct, it loads the user's dashboard, which is unique to that particular user. Else, it displays a message to you telling you that this is an invalid login details. That is a dynamic website that accepts input from user and as well process it. Depending on the level of processing that is done, it takes you to a point where you see your dashboard or where you see other features on the website. So dynamic websites, the content change based on the user's activity or based on the experience or what the users are doing on the website. And so I've earlier talked about also the front end and the back end development. I earlier made a description of both. I said that the front end design is mostly concerned about the aesthetics, the physical structure of the website, everything about the front end of the website, everything about how the people interact with the website. That is the front end, where users visit, where users see, how the buttons are placed, how the forms are designed, how the images are aligned, that kind of the text, the way the texts are looking. Those things are the things that form the front end development. And of course, the back end development, those things are the codes that actually connect, or the things that are running in the background, such that those things are what bring up the aesthetics, or the major things that power the website. So there are going to be tools and resources for website design, which we are going to be talking about. And the basic tools that you need are the text editors. If you are on a laptop, which is what I strongly recommend, that everyone who has come to learn this should have a laptop. But hey, if you don't have a laptop, don't be discouraged. You can as well use your mobile phone to do whatever thing you want to do as far as the space is concerned. But trust me, it is going to give you a whole lot of trouble. A laptop has a way of easing things because you have your keyboard that you can easily type, and of course, when you are using a PC, it is also going to give you a better screen view, so that you will test your website in real time. You will know how does it look on a large screen, and also you can examine how it looks on mobile devices, because the PC will also give you the privilege of ensuring that you also check how it looks on mobile. And of course, another basic tool that you will use, that you will need for this, is the web browser for testing. Of course, every phone, every mobile device, or every PC that you're going to use has a minimum of a browser installed on it. So I will also suggest that the browser you're going to use for this should be Chrome. Chrome is really one of my best browsers when it comes to designing website, because it gives me some level of control over things that I'm going to be doing. That doesn't mean that other browsers are not good. Other browsers are very much amazing. But hey, I just like using Chrome. So, and you can as well make your research. If Chrome seem to be good for you, you can join me. Let's use Chrome. But if you don't want to use Chrome, there are other browsers like Firefox. There is Opera Mini, and there are other um, iOS, iOS or um, Mac OS based browsers that you can use. So it is very, very important that you know what works for you and stick to it. And then the design tools for those who are going to mostly be doing front end design, though we're not going to just focus on this. Just going to do mostly full web design. That's what we're going to be doing. But for those who are going to be doing UI UX, there are tools like Figma, there is a Canva, or Adobe XD for mockups, in case you want to build mockups that will be used for your design aesthetics. And of course, the coding language is very, very important. As a website designer, you will be looking critically. Web HTML is the language of the web. HTML is the basic language, and HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Hypertext Markup Language, and it is used for the structure. It's HTML you're going to use to structure your website, to say, okay, this is the header section, this is the footer section, this is the body section, and here these are how my blog items should look. That is what the HTML does. HTML is like the skeleton. And so when you are done with putting the skeletal structure, another thing that you need to now start doing is to start beautifying it. You need to start adding colors. You need to start making the text look a bit wobbling. You need to put the text in such a way that people will see it and will say, wow, this is amazing. And then what does that is the CSS. CSS is an acronym for cascading style sheets. So when you want to start giving beautiful design to your website, CSS is the major tool or is a major language that will be used for doing that. And of course, when you want to talk of interactivity, when you want to talk of interactivity, you need to look at JavaScript. Although JavaScript has so many other features that it can add to your website, but I wouldn't want to talk about that. And of course, I said that this is free, but yes, um, JavaScript is actually a deeper scripting language on its own that if we go deep in it, we will completely defeat the whole idea of even letting you build a website in 3 weeks. And hey, what we're focusing on is ensuring that you build a website in 3 weeks, and so we won't go so deep on this. So I'm going to also be sharing links to these free and affordable tools and resources. For the basic tools, like I talked about, Notepad++ is one major tool that I like using a lot because of the way it makes me know, okay, I can actually do these things from scratch, and also it gives me some level of control over my over the codes. And of course, Visual Studio Code is another amazing one. Each of them has their various advantages. Visual Studio Code does a whole lot of code completion, auto completion of codes, whereas Notepad++ as well do the code hinting. They also have some different colors for the text for the different programming languages you're choosing at any point. So it is very, very important that you two of them are the ones I recommend. You can use either of the two, and they are actually both amazing tools. And so the website design process is going to be broken down into different steps. There are about 6 different steps that is involved in building a website, which is for the process of website design. The first step is the planning and research. When you want to build a website, the first thing you need to do is to do a plan and then research. Know exactly what you want to build. You need to understand the purpose of the website. You need to also identify the target audience. You need to, yes, website is like building that small business of yours. You need to identify what will be the purpose of this website. And of course, when I have found out what the purpose is, I need to as well say, what would then be the the basic thing that I need as far as this website is concerned. What is going to be Who are those who are going to be interacting with my website? And so that is also very, very important. You need to know that people will be interacting with your website, and of course, those people who will be interacting with your website are your target audience. So those your audience, it is very, very important that you identify them, because there is nobody who is building website that is going to be general for everybody. Websites cannot be completely general for everybody. There are people who may not take liking to what you're doing, and the target audience could also be splitted based on various demographics, like the age, like the gender, like the location. People who will visit my website, where are they going to be located? Are they going to be US based citizens? Of course, location also will determine some of the other things, that the content that will come on there. And then another step to the website design process is the wireframing and mockups. You need to sketch the layout using tools like Figma, or then you just if you're not using Figma, sometimes I decide to even do a sketch on paper to see how does this my website, how is it going to look. I do a rough sketch, and that sketch is what will guide me to designing the website proper. And of course, you don't need to go ahead and jump on this on your PC to start designing. Those sketches, excuse me, are very, very important. And so the design itself talks about choosing a color scheme that will be used, and of course the typography, and of course the layout style. How do you want your website to look? How do you want the color what kind of colors will be aesthetically pleasing to your audience? Of course, if I am building a website for kids who are in nursery school, it is very, very important for me to use so many colors. I need to do so many color combinations. Kids will like to see red, they will like to see blue, they will like to see yellow, orange, very bright colors. Those are the colors that I must ensure that I put in place. And if I am building for a more advanced audience that are more mature, I don't need to use those colors because most of them could be so unappealing to this kind of audience. So the kind of audience I choose will also determine the kind of design I'm going to make alongside. And of course, the next phase, which is the fourth phase of it, is the development, where you write the code proper. You see, development is the fourth stage, is the fourth stage. So you don't start writing code as the first thing. You do it when you have done the planning, when you have done the wireframing and mockups, and when you have done the design proper. That is when you start the coding. The coding will entail the HTML code, the CSS, and of course the JavaScript that you're going to use to put all those things in place. Then the next stage of it is testing and launch. Before you before you finally put your website for people to see it online, you need to test it. You need to be sure that everything is working, so that people don't come and say, "Oh, you've built crap." And when you start being a website designer, you appreciate websites when you visit them, because you could end up working for an entire 1 week or 2 weeks straight on your system, and then someone comes and say, "Yay, you have done rubbish. You have not done anything at all." And so you don't need to get offended, but that brings me to the point where I say that you need to test your website before you go ahead and launch it, so that you will know exactly how it functions. And of course, before you even do the launching, let your friends, let people close to you, let them first of all use the website and then give you a feedback. They should tell you how what they think should be added, what they think is missing. But hey, when you are also getting people who will test for you, let these people be people who will match the target audience. If you are building for kids, please call your relatives or your friends who are kids. Let them visit the website and give you their review. They will give you an honest review. Don't just get someone who is a web designer and tell the person, "Oh, come and review my website." It is not going to work that way. And then, of course, the testing and launch is something we've already talked about. In doing the testing and launch, you need to check for the cross-browser testing. Ensure that this your website works appropriately on different browsers, so that you don't just use one browser to build and people try to access the website on other browsers and then it is crap. So even though I've told you earlier that I use Google Chrome, but of course when I am trying to do a test, I test on different browsers to ensure that my website also is cross-browser compatible. It is very, very important. And of course, in doing the testing, you should know how responsive the website is. Responsiveness of a website talks about how it reacts or how the website adapts to different screen sizes. If I am on mobile, the website should automatically detect that I'm on mobile and then switch to the size of the mobile device. And of course, if I am also on a PC, the system should the website should detect that I'm on a larger screen and expand it. If I try to access the website on a TV, the website should adjust to know, okay, this is a very large screen, so I need to adjust myself to suit this particular screen. So that is what um, responsiveness talks about. Your website needs to be very responsive. It needs to actually understand the kind of screen that people are connecting with. It needs to understand that, okay, this device is very small, and so I need to adjust the shape to match this particular screen, so that people don't get completely frustrated when it is not compatible with their device. It is very, very important that we look at these various things. And then, of course, the final thing is the maintenance. When you build a website, even though it is a static website, I want to let you know that the level of maintenance you give to your website is going to be very, very important. It's going to determine how well people visit your website. There are some static websites that also that that drag a lot of people on a daily basis. These static websites are actually people may not even know that they are static. They may think, oh, this is a dynamic website, because when they visit today, they see a different content, and maybe when they come back tomorrow or in the next 1 week, things have changed. Don't allow your website remain the way it is for a very long time. And of course, during the maintenance period, you need to do proper performance checks to ensure that your website is properly checked. And so the next thing we're going to be jumping into is introduction to HTML, and then the role of HTML, like I've stated earlier, in the website design journey is to ensure that you have a proper structure for your website. HTML, like I said earlier, is like the skeleton of the website. HTML, remember what I say it is: hypertext markup language. Hypertext markup language. That is HTML. So it is going to that is the basic code that powers websites. HTML is the basic code that powers websites. And of course, I am going to be showing you the basic structure of of a website, of HTML website. I'm going to be showing you the basic structure of HTML website. So let me just quickly take this out, and then show you. Let me show you. Just give me a minute. Give me a second. Let me get this done. So I need to take you to the code view so that I can show you what. And let me show you what how a website how a basic HTML website should how it should look. That is what I want to basically show you. So let's jump into our code view. So this is me using Notepad++. This is Notepad++, and please, it is also very important that you install Notepad++. The Notepad++ has several features that will make it easier for you to build, and also when you want to debug your code, it's also very easy. So how do I start coding? For me to write a HTML syntax, I want to give you the basic structure for the HTML. The basic structure is first of all, you need to put the doc type, and the doc type is written like this doc type. And when I put the doc type, I will give a space and say HTML, so that the system knows that I am actually building a HTML website. So first, let me save this. I want to save this just I want to save this to my desktop. And how I want to save it is to save it. I will save it to my desktop. I'm still going to show you how this looks, and I will save it as website.html. So that is the extension. HTML is the extension that you need to save it with. And it's very, very important that you save with .html. I am going to explain this. So immediately I save this, you notice that the color somehow will change. The color of the code will somehow change, so that the system will detect that this is a HTML file that I have created. And so I will then go ahead and do my HTML tag proper. The reason why I told you I wanted to use the Notepad++ is that it does auto completion of code, so I don't need to bother myself about closing tags. But then you also need to look out for tags that you need to close in case you have an error in putting up the tag, so you need to close the tag properly. So the first thing I do is to put in the HTML tag, followed by the HTML tag is the head tag, and inside this head tag I am going to put another thing inside it. Just take a look at how I am nesting what I'm doing. Don't worry, I'm going to explain what this nesting is. Nesting in the sense that if you notice, the first one is taking this is the first block, and the block is showing that it's covering every other thing. Then the head is nested using the tab key one step in. And of course, the next thing that is going to come inside the head is going to be the title, and is going to be nested. So what I'm going to give this title is my first website. So this is going to be the title, And of course, yeah, this title is what appears on the browser, on the title bar of the browser, so that this is the name that shows up on the title bar of the browser. And of course, this header section has a whole lot of other things that can come into it, like the meta tags. That's where they come in, but don't worry about that. Let's just go ahead, and we're looking at putting the basic structure. The next thing we're going to do is to put the body. And of course, this body, anything that you want to appear on your HTML, on your website body, or on your website, it is within the body that you are going to put it. And hey, I want to put in the very first tag. I want to put in the H1 tag. H1 tag is the heading tag, and this heading tag is actually it starts from H1 down to H6. So I will say my website. This is the first. This is my first my first code that will come up here, and it's going to be the first thing that will appear. And so, just like when I am writing on on a piece of paper, I put the heading and then I put a paragraph. So P is a paragraph tag that I'm going to use here. So I'll say this is my very first website built during the 3 weeks free website training session with John Aja. So this now is the basic structure that a website must have. This HTML, the head, the title, the body, this, once you have this right now, you are done with building your website. Every other thing comes on within this particular segment. Every other thing that you're going to do is just basically going to be focusing on this structure that you have put in place. So it is it's important for you to know that we already have a full structure for our website. And I believe sometimes you would have looked at the website, and then you saw something, like this, and you'll be like, oh, how come this kind of things, these jaga jaga codes, are actually powering some beautiful designs. And that is just basically how you will write the HTML um, code. And so let me just take this out so that we don't we don't get confused over that. Don't worry. Whatever code that I'm going to write within this period, I will also share it alongside. It's going to come together as an accompanying resource to whatever to whatever practice we have done. And hey, don't forget, it is very, very important that you follow us on our social media handle. Go to facebook.com/smartclouds. Go there, follow our page, and invite people, please. For the sake of this training, we want a lot of persons to get involved in what we are doing. This is an amazing training that we are doing, and we want plenty of people to come to connect to this, so that if your friends also get this skill, it can help them to stay financially independent. It can help them to make money on their own, and of course it can also help them. In fact, you don't really know how much you're sharing what we are doing can help people. So please don't be stingy. Just go ahead, like our social media handles, and then follow us so that you will get amazing updates, because definitely we're going to be bringing more updates to you. Just please follow us. I am pleading. Don't miss it. In fact, what you should do right now is, as you're watching, just pause this video and go and follow us. Go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. When you subscribe, turn on the notification icon so that you get notified when we put up new videos. Follow us. It is very, very important. And back to where we were before. We just showed you how to build, how to write a basic HTML website. So it is a basic structure that we have set, and of course it is just a very simple structure that we've set. But let me tell you, that structure is the structure that is powering the most powerful website you see. You think of Facebook, that is the structure that Facebook is built on. You think of any other website, that is the structure that is powering all those websites that you are seeing. The Twitter or the X that you know today starts with this basic structure. It is what you make out of this structure that really determines the next things that can come out of your website. Like I told you, no single person can teach you everything you need to know about web design. The level at which you are going to learn is going to be dependent on how well you have you have given time to study. Please, I want to let you know that this training is meant to accomplish all those things that I've said. And I don't want to bore you with plenty code. Today is not the day for coding, so don't hurry me. Don't rush me. Don't rush me. I'm not going to show you more of code. So just hold on. So this class I've actually come to a point where um what you need to do, because this is not a live class that is interactive. I want to I want to request, when you're finished watching this, feel free, just feel free to connect with me. Just let me know, throw your questions at me on WhatsApp, just chat me up. If you can't do it in the group, just send me a direct message. Don't worry. None of my numbers are private numbers. They are numbers you should have access to every time. I don't have a private number, provided I've done business with you, provided we've been in the same forum together. You are free to chat me up, send me messages. In fact, the question and answer section is supposed to have come if we were to be in a live class. So ask me the question. I want to get all your questions. Bombard me with the questions. I am ready to get to hear your questions. Let me hear your questions. Just go ahead and let's hear from you. So this concludes our training for today. I told you it's just going to be very short. However, because of numerous things that I need to talk a lot for you to understand some stuffs, and of course we talked about the HTML structure. We talked about a couple of other things with regards to website design. Remember, we started from letting you know that this program is brought to you by Smart Clouds, and my name is John Aja. I believe you still remember that name. That is the name of your instructor, and hey is the name you're going to be hearing, and this is the face you're going to be seeing for 3 weeks. Anyway, don't worry, you won't see my face for too long. I will hide it behind the code so that you only see codes. Those HTML scripts are the things you're going to be seeing more. The practical hands-on are the things you're going to be following up with more. So don't worry, you won't see my face so much. But we looked at different key components of website, where we looked at the structure of the website, the types of website. I believe you can still remember that. If not, just go back to the video and watch again so that you can grasp everything we've done. Your understanding of this first introductory part is going to help you a lot. Go back and watch this video if you have missed anything. In fact, I suggest that you watch this video multiple times so that you will get to understand every single thing about what we've talked that a website entails. Things that make up website are very, very important, and of course we're going to start rolling out those things that make up a website. And then of course, I'm going to be sharing some reading or practice assignments with you, and then I'm going to create a simple HTML page with a heading, and of course, which we already did, and I want you to practice that. Oh, I forgot something. For those of you who are on mobile, please, what you just need to do is download the Treb edit that I mentioned earlier. Download it, and if you can't find it, just chat me up on the WhatsApp group and let me know. In fact, you drop me a message on this YouTube channel and let me know. Drop your message under this video, and then I will guide you on how to get the editor installed on your mobile device, and then you can do the same thing, exactly the same thing that I've done on that page, so that you can do it as well. And of course, please, as a final parting word, I want to plead with you again. It will not be wise, it will not be nice, it will not be so nice of you. I mean you, I'm talking about you. It will not be so nice of you that we took this time, and we put together all this training, and we've done this whole lot of talking, and you're not able to appreciate our team. Let me tell you, we have a team who are working to ensure that these things are brought to you. It is not really an easy thing to put this kind of tutorials in place. Due to our busy schedules, we still shut down a whole lot of other things to ensure that we do this. And hey, the only thing you can do for us, which is the only thing we're asking, instead of telling you to pay us 50,000 or pay us 100,000 naira for this training, please just go ahead and follow us on our social media handles. On Facebook is at Smart Clouds, Smart Clouds without the R in smart, and then on YouTube is at Smart Clouds, and then of course on X, which is Twitter, what you should look out for is I am Ajajon. I am Ajajon. That is the Twitter handle. Just go ahead and follow me there. And of course, I want to appreciate you for the time you have given to follow us all through this point. And I believe that this training is going to help us to build a new career for those who want to build career, and also for those who are already experts in different fields that wants to just diversify what they're doing. This is going to be an amazing journey to have you look into web design as a channel. I want to appreciate you for joining us today. Thank you so much for such a privilege you have granted that I be your instructor for this period, and I want to promise you that this training is not just going to make you a web designer, but you're going to start thinking differently after this class must have ended, because definitely being a website designer will expand how you see things. It's going to expand how things work. So you're going to understand the anatomy of the web, how a website works, things that power a website, what a web server is. Those are the things that we're going to be looking at in our next class. So just sit back, relax, and ensure if you're stuck anywhere, don't hesitate, just go ahead and reach out to us, and I will guide you properly. Don't even hesitate one bit. Go ahead and send me a message. I'll be willing to have your messages flowing. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're so grateful that today's class has come to an end. Have a wonderful time.